Hello and welcome to the training video series for Alchemist AI Pro. I am your host, Nicholas Edwards. This one is a vignette, a quick look at something new in Alchemist AI Pro, a stage called Journeys. And we are doing this one differently. No Jamie, no live demo, just me walking you through what it is and why it earns a place in the process. Before I get into what is new, let me back up for a second. Some of you have spent years inside big consulting engagements, and you already know exactly what I'm about to describe. A lot of you have not, and that is exactly who this part is for. Here's what happens on a large engagement after every feature has been documented. A senior analyst, sometimes a whole room of them, sits down and traces one persona's actual day through the system, not feature by feature, step by step, the way a real person lives it. A sales rep opens a lead. The system routes it to underwriting. Underwriting hands it back. That trace is called a user journey, and it is how you catch the moment two well-built features quietly fail to hand off to each other. It takes senior people, and it takes hours, and that is exactly why most teams never get the budget for it. They ship well-documented features and hope the seams hold. Alchemist AI Pro just built that exact exercise into the process, and now it runs automatically on every project. That is the whole idea behind Journeys. We bring the big time to everyone. Here is the short version of how the Journey stage fits. Journeys did not exist when we first put this training together. We added it between Elaborate and Alchemy because of what kept coming up once people got deep into real projects. Elaboration hands you a set of features that are each, on their own, well described. Mechanics, edge cases, what happens when something fails. What it cannot tell you is whether those features actually connect into something a person or a system can walk through from start to finish. That is a different question. It deserves its own look before you commit to generating final artifacts. Journeys gives you that perspective. If you watch the video on the Elaborate stage, you might remember how it's like furnishing every room in the house. Each feature has its mechanics, its edge cases, its behavior on failure, written down in detail. But nobody lives in a house one room at a time. A person wakes up in the bedroom, walks to the bathroom, goes to the kitchen, and heads out through the garage. That walk is what proves the rooms actually work together as a home, not just as a set of well-decorated rooms sitting next to each other. That walk is what Journeys gives you. It takes every feature, an epic from the Elaborate stage, and traces the paths of real people, and the systems working alongside them, to see how each moves from room to accomplish a goal. On this project, 14 features produced 6 of those journeys. 45 steps total, 5 different actors involved, 49 epics tied into them. Now, let's take a different look at one. Same journey, different arrangement. Here, the 8 steps are laid out strictly in the order they happen, 1 through 8, regardless of who owns each one. If you want to walk the whole thing start to finish the way a stakeholder would describe their day, this is the view for that. And here it is, grouped by role instead. 5 steps under sales representative, 3 under system automation. Notice the steps are listed by role, then by order within that role's part of the journey. Open any step and you get the receipts. A plain description of what happens, and underneath it, the exact feature and the exact epic that step was built from. That last part matters more than it looks like it does. Elaboration is where the mechanics get written. Journeys is where you confirm those mechanics actually connect into something a person or a system can walk through end to end. If a step in that walk is missing, you are not guessing which room to go back to. The tag tells you. The product puts it plainly at the bottom of this screen. Review Journeys, then proceed to artifact generation. That is exactly what this stage is for. It is the walkthrough before the construction documents get drawn. If you were to take anything away from this video, take these 3 things. 1. Elaboration builds the rooms one at a time. Now Journeys is where you can see how people move through the finished house. room to room, and see whether it holds together as one thing. 2. Every step traces back to the exact feature and epic behind it. A gap in the walk points you straight to the room that needs another look, not a guess. 3. Watch the handoffs. That is where the walk passes from a person to a system or back again. And that is where a missing door is most likely to be hiding. That was the journey stage. If you are checking this out in the correct order, you can now watch our training for the alchemy stage next. Jamie will walk you through it, and I will still be your host. Thank you for watching. This is Nicholas Edwards, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.